Welcome, everyone, to episode 12 of the What Sales and Marketing Got to Do with It podcast. My name is Gemma Adair, founder and principal marketing consultant at Rithisha Consultancy. This podcast aims to delve deep into the minds of sales and marketing industry leaders, uncovering what keeps them up at night, what drives their passion, and how they execute successful strategies in both their personal and professional lives. I am delighted to welcome Rithisha Yellala. She works as a digital marketing executive at HSO. Great to have you, Rithisha.
Hey, thank you. I'm excited. I've been waiting for so long and the day is finally here. So thank you.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Right. Please introduce who you are and what you do.
Sure. Hello, everyone who's listening. I am Rithisha and I work as a digital marketing executive at a company called HSO. And other than digital marketing, I spend my free time thinking about my favorite food, biryani, every second, every minute. But I read books and I listen to podcasts as well. And I do archery. I haven't been back in like 2 weeks. I need to get back to archery. But other than that, I go on walks, spend time with my friends and family. So yeah, that's me.
Brilliant. And when and where did your marketing journey begin? Take us way back in time. Where did it begin?
So it was, I think, 2.5 years ago, or more, probably 3 years ago. So I never really, it's not, I never wanted to be a digital marketer or into marketing or anything, but it never came to my mind. So I started off as a software developer, web development, basically learning about it. And after my sixth form, I did a traineeship on software development, which covered a little bit about digital marketing. And when I was learning about digital marketing, I did a Google Garage Fundamentals of Digital Marketing course. And when I was doing that, everything was clicking, if that makes sense. Like I understood things really well, and it was very interesting to me how all of this works. And after that, I stopped software development. I didn't stop it or I didn't ditch it, but I just was like, okay, maybe let me learn more about digital marketing. And then I did another traineeship for 2 weeks. And yeah, I got my first ever apprenticeship, and that's how I got into digital marketing.
Awesome. And have you faced challenges in your marketing role? And if so, what were they? And so what were they initially? Let's start with that question.
Initially, so one of the biggest, I wouldn't say biggest, but one of the mistakes that I've done in my first ever apprenticeship was thinking that there is no target audience. Like every single one on every single social media platform is my target audience. So I used to create like social media posts or campaigns, or not like paid campaigns, but social media posts, um, quite generic, just putting them out there without any proper strategy. And I used to not get good results or any results that I wanted to. So it was quite challenging trying to figure out how I can sort of come out of it. And obviously, when I did more research and more learning, I understand there's something called target audience. And then every single social media platform has its own algorithm and own audience, trying to sort of tailor my strategy according to that. And also, when I'm writing content as well, I did keyword research, but not understanding how to do like a proper in-depth keyword analysis. So I used to write content based on topics that came to my mind, and I do a quick Google search and any tools. I used to use Ahrefs back then. And yeah, looking at the numbers, I used to include all the or most of the target keywords that have high search volume, like really high search volume, which means they're like high competition as well. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? But yeah, I would say that was my challenge that I could think of at the moment.
Okay. And how did you take us through like how you overcame that challenge? Was it, kind of leveraging different tools and finding the best one that kind of suited you at the time?
So I did an online course. It was a paid one. I can't exactly remember what it was, but it was about digital marketing. And also there were like two different courses, like social media marketing as well. And in that they explained how social media marketing is not just about posting like just a random social design. It's all about like hashtags, trying to understand your audience, and with obviously with SEO as well, trying to optimize your pages, metadata optimization, and all of that. I was like, oh my god, I missed out so much on this. And the things that I learned, I slowly started implementing them, and I started seeing results. There might not be huge results immediately, obviously, but I see the growth, and that's when I started to understand things really.
Right. I think when people hear metadata, they're probably thinking, what is that? Metadata? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So there is, from your experience, what are the misconceptions do you think people have about marketing?
In terms of misconceptions that people have, I think this is like a common one. You must have heard it. Is like marketing is all about, or marketing is just advertising, when it's not just that, or when it's not all about that. It's a lot more than that, than just advertising. Also, there's different activities or like different things that you do within marketing as a whole. Marketing, like what could I say? Like SEO. I mean, people now understand like the role of SEO, and then other things like email marketing, social media marketing, and so on, so which falls under marketing. But there is still few people who think that all of these don't exist, or probably don't know yet. I might be wrong, but that's just my assumption. But yeah, I feel like there's just this misconception that it's just advertising. Marketing is just advertising. And another misconception that I fell into, I was one of those, is that I might contradict myself here, but it's you have to be on every single social media platform. When it comes to social media marketing, there's nothing wrong with trialing out like different social media platforms, of course, but there is different strategies, like I said, and different algorithms. For example, for Twitter, I don't know what it's like now, but before, I think it's recommended to do like 1 to 5 tweets per day or something like that. Whereas you wouldn't do 1 to 5 social posts on Instagram. It would look spammy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think that was something that I fell into. Like I said, I didn't really understand that. And I feel like people who are just starting social media marketing as well, they think that posting quite frequently is the road, or is the key to grow your brand awareness or anything like that. But yeah, those are the two things I'd say.
Okay, now some good misalignments there for sure. I love the
Mm-hmm.
one where marketing, it's all about advertising.
Uh-huh.
Definitely not just advertising. Is there a part of marketing that you like the most, and why?
Yes, SEO. I quite enjoy SEO, search engine optimization. I like optimizing the page, adding like the metadata again, meta title and meta description, and using these different tools as well. It's I don't know what I enjoy about this, but using SEMrush, like keyword analysis, and looking at
Mm,
what people searching for, like the monthly search volumes and everything. I like SEO a lot. Not a lot, okay. I mean, I do like SEO, but something I also enjoy is social media marketing, because I feel like there's every other, even with SEO as well, there's always new updates and stuff. But for example, with social media, there's new platforms or new apps that's coming out. For example, TikTok. It's really interesting to see how we can leverage that for business. For example, right now, when it comes to TikTok, I haven't really used TikTok for business yet. But when it comes to TikTok, the first thing that comes to my mind is just doing like dancing or lip syncing to audios and so and so. And I don't know how to do that for business. So in that sense, I think I quite enjoy that as well, learning about the different platforms and the algorithms and everything.
that's awesome. And then the other question would be, what do you like least and why?
uh I don't, it's not that I don't like it, but it's something that I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this, is designing. because I'm not the best in designing. I'm improving. I've improved a lot ever since my apprenticeship days, because I had to do a lot of designing when I was an apprentice, which given me the opportunity to learn and understand like the brand colors and how to use like different colors or anything designing. But yeah, I would say I don't enjoy designing at all. It doesn't give me a headache, but I have to think about how I need to design this. Like, oh my God. We used to design ebooks when I was an apprentice. And I remember when my first ever huge designing task was to think about the layout. So doesn't necessarily be colors or anything, but I also did coloring, I think, as well. Coloring in the sense like the background colors and then little icons that we use. And I was so stressed out because I don't really like designing or anything related to that. So I used to Google, I used to do YouTube, like watch videos and stuff. So yeah, I would that would probably be something that I dislike. Not dislike, but
Design.
yeah.
I'm a firm believer in sales and marketing alignment. What's your thoughts about that?
Mm-hmm. So I used to, again, I fell into this trap of thinking that sales and marketing was one thing, but it's not. It's not everyone, it's not the same thing, but they are different, like, I guess, business units or functions that have like the same goal, same end goal. So, again, not because I'm in marketing, I think this way, but marketing comes first and then it's sales. So, what I mean by that is, the role of marketing is creating brand awareness about a product or servicing and attracting people, whereas salespeople, what they do is get those customers to convert, get those people to convert into the customers. And it's really important to work cohesively, like work together to reach that end goal, which is generally generating revenue for the business and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's important to work together, not work like not it's not a competition, but work together, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. And I think it's marketing and sales differs slightly, let's say, depending upon the size of organization,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're a startup or whether they're a large sort of corporation, you know, there might be the founder that wears multiple hats. He's both sales and
Mm-hmm.
marketing and sales. And then you have, organizations that have multiple teams, in region, globally. So it can get very interesting when it comes to that whole kind of sales and marketing alignment conversation, right? So, no,
Mm-hmm.
great to hear your thoughts about that. How do you keep up to date yourself with what's happening in the market, in your industry, that kind of thing?
So with marketing as a whole, I look at online resources. So with social media today, that's an online resource, a company or page, a resource called social media today. I look at all the social media updates. They're quite good. I go to them, and also search engine journal. They also have up-to-date information about any new Google updates that's happening or any updates in general. And in terms of just learning, or if there's something quickly I want to learn about, I go to HubSpot Academy or HubSpot. They have like different blogs, and then Hootsuite, I think that's how you pronounce. And in terms of like technology or tech in general, this is very rarely. I don't go there often, but like once every few months, it's Tech Radar or TechCrunch.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and if there are times where I don't like to read, when I just want to listen to podcast, the Search Engine Journal. It's called the Search Engine Journal Show. And another podcast that I listen to is Lenny's podcast. And then there's other podcasts as well, like SEO in 2023, SEO 101. So yeah.
Oh, perfect. So quite a lot of different sort of resources and things that you access and
Mm-hmm.
so to keep abreast of what's happening in the market. If a young person wanted to get into marketing, what advice would you give them?
Um, I'd say learn as much as you can. Try to understand the difference between sales and marketing because I didn't. I thought it was a one thing, like the whole everything was just one thing. But yeah, learn as much as you can. And I think a good starting point, because it was good starting point for me, was the fundamentals of digital marketing by Google Garage. It sort of opened a door for me to understand what marketing is. It might not be in depth, it's just fundamentals, it might just be basic, but it still is very beneficial for someone who's just starting out. And then make use of online resources that's available. Everything's free. I still wonder how everything so good is free, but they're all free. You can just access them online. And then yeah.
No, that's very, very good point, because there is a lot of resources out there on the intranet. LinkedIn, like you said, Google Digital Garage. There's loads of things out there, and loads of other platforms and so on that you can do courses and stuff like that. But you're quite right. It's the fundamentals to kind of start off with, like have an understanding about the fundamentals in that respect. Work-life balance. How do you create work-life balance between home and work?
So I'm a boring person. So I don't really do much during the weekdays. I mean, I do, but so I think this is everyone, but anything that I want to do during the weekdays, I do. I start like my Thursday. My Thursday is when my weekend starts. That's how I say it to everyone. Thursdays are my weekends. Yeah, I don't really know how I balance it well. I don't think I balance it well, but I don't really work overtime, or I don't. If I have plans somewhere, I make sure I manage that. Like my time management skills are good, I like to say. So yeah, that was a tricky question because I never really thought about it. So you just put me on spot and I don't know how to answer that.
So would you find, let's say, in terms of like energy, are you more upbeat in the morning and then you start to dip sort of in the afternoon? What does that look like?
I'm energetic in the morning and in the like around 4 o'clock as well. I'm quite energetic, but just after lunch, that's when my energy starts dipping because I just had lunch. So I want to have a nap or something, but I don't. I work, but yeah, my energy just dips just after lunch. I think I've gotten better at it, but I've noticed most of the time just after lunch, I start feeling very low. And then I have chai, like Indian chai, and then my energy just comes back up.
Nice. And then you might
Mhm.
have biryani for lunch. Would you have biryani for lunch?
I think that's what's making me sleepy.
What do you like to do in your spare time? You mentioned earlier, was it archery? You did an archery course, you did some archery. What do you like to do in your spare time when you're not working?
hmm I read books. I haven't read one in a long time. I know I haven't done so many things in a long time because I've been busy with other things, but I read books. The current book I was reading or I need to start is What's in the Library, what you're looking for is in the library. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, what you're looking for is in the library. And
Okay.
as much as I remember, I think it's a book about five different individuals having their own different lifestyles, and then they all come to a library and meet the librarian. And I think it's the conversation that they have between the librarian and these five different individuals. I haven't really read the book and I haven't really read the synopsis or any of that yet. I just went to a bookstore, I saw the book, and I thought, okay, this looks interesting, and I just bought it. Other than that, I listen to podcasts. I I used to listen to Diary or the Diary of CEO, but I sort of stopped it for a while, and the only reason is because I'm listening to these other podcasts that I mentioned earlier. I quite like them; they're quite interesting. Yeah, I go on walks quite a lot. Like I actually go. It's I don't know why I do that, but I enjoy walks quite a lot. So I go on walks. I spend time with my friends and family, and yeah, that's how I spend my free time.
Perfect. Perfect. A good mix there, I think. A good mix of
hmm
how you like to sort of spend your time. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Quite a few things. I wanted to become a teacher. I wanted to become a teacher. I remember when I was little, I used to pray to God, and I used to pray these exact words. I would say, "Oh my," I would be like, "Oh God, please make me a teacher when I grow up. I really like that. I really enjoy that. I promise I'll behave well." I used to pray to God so much about becoming a teacher, and then after that, I wanted to do something. I wanted to become a lawyer as well. I
Okay.
never, yeah, I never uh, started that in the sense I never really went in that direction. I don't know why I didn't do that. I don't regret not doing that because I like digital marketing, but it's just one of those things that I think about why I didn't do that. I'm I'm not glad I didn't do that, but I'm glad because I like digital marketing more. But yeah, I think I wanted to become a lawyer or a teacher.
Ah, nice. Just think you didn't become a teacher, but you teach in what you do, right? In your job, and you teach others about SEO and
Yes.
stuff like that. So I think that's a great way of looking at it.
I never really thought about that. That's yeah, I'll start saying that. My prayers have been answered in some
Yeah,
way.
exactly, exactly. What is your passion in life and what drives you?
Um, my passion in life. Hmm, I don't really have a passion in life. I know, I mean, I do, but I strive for growth. So growth is is really important to me, whether that's career or just a person me. I meditate. I don't do it quite often. I need to be sort of strict with it, with meditation and yoga, sort of become like a better person, better me. And in terms of like my digital marketing career as well, I listen to all of these podcasts and do like my own research and learning because I want to become better at it. So I would
Hmm.
say my passion in life is to be the best version of myself and do the best in everything that I do. And I know you can't always be perfect or you can't always get everything perfect to what you do, but I just want to get that sense of accomplishment. And what motivates me or what drives me is seeing the results actually. Compared to last year, I've grown, not my height or anything, but like my digital marketing or just me, like my habits or anything in general. Yeah.
Nice. With the whole passion, keeping with the passion and what drives you, is there somebody that inspires you, dead or alive?
Yeah, my sister actually. My family, but my sister came to my mind when you asked me that question. She's very determined, and whatever she sets her mind to, she goes and gets it. Um, and she achieves it as well. And she's very like hardworking, and it inspires me a lot. So I think I want to be her. I get so jealous how she's very determined. It's actually crazy because when she puts her mind to something, she will work hard and she tries her best to get it. And if she doesn't achieve it as well, she doesn't really get upset over it. She just moves on and then works on something else. And so that's inspiring to me.
Brilliant. Remind me, am I right in saying you guys are a twin? You're a
We
twin.
are, yes, yeah.
Ah, tell
I
tell us more about what that's like.
don't know. I get this question asked a lot, and I think my sister gets it asked a lot as well. But I don't know what it feels like. It just feels like having a normal sibling, I guess. I mean, when I was younger, I did have my advantages, I would say. Whereas I copy her homework, or because, like I said, she's very hardworking. When she gets homework, she used to do it on time, where I used to leave it at like last minute because I was busy playing with my friends. But yeah, we're twins, and yeah, I used to copy her homework. That part I really, and that's when I was like, oh my God, it's so glad. It's so nice to have a twin, but I don't know. It doesn't feel anything special and apart from that.
Interesting. No, that's probably an interesting. You never
Hmm.
know, there might be a another twin that I would have on the podcast, and we can learn
Hmm.
different things perhaps. It'd be good to kind of explore that a bit further. If you could speak to your younger self, what would you say to them?
I would say thanks for not giving up on software development. I mean, eventually I did, but I feel like it took an unexpected turn, which is where I am, which is where it took me to where I am today. For example, or like I say, when I started software development, I there was a bit of digital marketing, which is where I was like, oh my God, this is interesting and I want to do this. So I did give up on software development, but I felt like I I didn't give up because I couldn't do it. I gave up because I found something that actually clicked.
Yeah.
So I would say thanks for not giving up, but also thanks for giving up. I know that doesn't make any sense, but it's really weird how to explain this. Um, but I'm so glad that I didn't give up in software development when I was in sixth form. Okay, to be
Okay.
clearer, when I was in sixth form, I didn't know what to do. I had no goal, I would say, into because there was so many options, there were so many things, and I didn't know what exactly would be best for me or what I would enjoy. And software development was something that was stuck in my head. I would always think about it, but I didn't enjoy as much as I thought I would. So that's when I started going to these traineeships, these trainings, because I wanted to learn more about it and enjoy it. But yeah, it introduced me to digital marketing, and I had to say goodbye to software development.
Software development. And I think it's an interesting one because remind me, you didn't go down the sort of university route.
No.
You looked at sort of exploring sort of internships and things like that. Tell us more about that. Plus, were you influenced at all by family, friends, relatives in terms of um your career path, or anything like that? Maybe like you had some mentors around you at the time that kind of made the suggestion on software development. Tell us a bit more about that.
So like with software development or web development, I had because I had friends who were within that industry. So I wanted to do what my friends were doing. I wasn't really pushed into it. I wasn't really told that, oh, you need to do this because it's good or something. I really wanted to do what my friends were doing. And I
Mm,
thought, because they quite enjoy it. And you know, when you see someone enjoy it, you think you feel the same way. So I thought
yes.
I felt the same way about it. I thought if I probably learn more about it like they do and get into it, I would probably be as happy as they are or as enjoy it as much as they are. But I did enjoy it. But like I said, I felt like it was I don't know why I did it didn't click, if that makes sense. I
Mm,
didn't feel it. Like I was doing software, I was like, oh my God, I'm finally doing this. It's so good and it's so interesting, like coding and everything. But then there was part of me that said, is this what I really wanted? Or why don't I feel the full level of satisfaction? And yeah, I which brought me to learn more about it because I felt like I didn't learn enough to feel that way. So, and about not going to uni and so, I wasn't really forced about it or anything either. Again, I've wanted to get that theoretical and practical experience on the things that I was doing, whether that was web development, whether that was digital marketing. And at that time, I thought apprenticeships was like the best option. And they still really are. You learn so much from apprenticeships. Not saying that you don't with universities, but with me, it helped me get that practical experience because you work like real time at a company and you also learn about it within the apprenticeship side of the things. So that's why I didn't really go to uni. And yeah, I'm happy that I didn't. Not that you should not be happy if you were going to university, but I preferred it this way and I don't regret it. And I'm glad that I went this way.
that's perfect. And I think it's kind of what you're saying is that there's no right or wrong route.
Mm-hmm.
It's, choosing what's best for you, choosing,
Mm-hmm.
what's best for you in terms of what kind of career path you want to sort of go down. And there's loads of different opportunities and routes to where you want to go to out there. It's just kind of asking the questions, talking to the people that are in the know-how or can kind of guide you in the best way forward. So it's really important. And I loved what you said there. It's like, this was my route. I'm happy. I'm glad I went through the whole kind of apprenticeship route. So that's really, really good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I don't know actually. No, I do. I mean, my big, wouldn't say biggest, but a goal that I had for a few years is to work at Google or YouTube.
Oh,
And that is, yeah, don't ask me why. I mean, you can, but okay, I'll explain why. So when I was in school, I did a business class. I took a business. I'm just thinking how to phrase it, but I think business communications, business development, one of those things, or business in general. I can't
mhm.
remember. See, it's been ages. Probably like 5 years ago or something. But I did something to do with business. And then when we were doing in that course, we were looking at other large businesses, and Google was one of it. And we watched a YouTube video where they showed the Google office. They have their
Okay.
own. It was so good. Google offices are good, obviously, but it sort of influenced me that if I want to work, I want to work at this company only purely because of how good the office looks. I know it sounds weird, but and then um my it took an unexpected turn, and I started doing digital marketing and then SEO, like Google search and everything. I was like, oh my God, maybe I still want to do this. And I part of my digital marketing role is YouTube optimization as well. And I really quite enjoy YouTube SEO. I actually do, like optimizing the videos, writing the description, again the title and all of that stuff. So I want to work for YouTube and try to understand how this works, like behind the scenes, what YouTube is like behind the scenes. And I want to get that experience as well, working for like a large company. Yeah, so that is the reason. Yeah, that's where I see in 5 years time, really. Probably working at Google or YouTube, but it's not something that I want to do. It's just something that I could try and do, and I see myself there. That's the plan. That's what I'm aiming at the moment.
Interesting. And I think it's interesting because from what, way back in sort of sixth form school, these sort of
School.
names kind of popped up and you were like, oh, this is interesting. And a few years on, you're still kind of thinking about
Mm-hmm.
those big names because you can kind of see yourself working
Exactly.
for them or exploring a career
Mm-hmm.
with.
Yeah, I wanted to sort of give up on that thought because purely it sounded silly to me that I just want to work in that company because the office looks great. Um, but then I feel like there's something, it's just more than just about the office. I feel like I want to get that experience really working in a large company. Uh, yeah, it is. I don't. It's weird that it's stuck with me, and even when I'm talking about it right now, I sort of feel excited talking about
Yes.
it.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Your face for sure. Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. What do you want to be remembered by?
Mm, I want to be remembered by or as for my determination and for my hard work. And the reason why I say that is because for digital marketing throughout my apprenticeship days, in my circle, actually, I don't really have a lot of friends that do digital marketing, I don't know about digital marketing. So I wouldn't say it was a huge challenge for me, but when there's something that I want to talk about, I didn't really have anything to talk, anyone to talk about. If there's like new updates, like Google updates, Google algorithm updates, I can't really talk to my friends about it because they would listen to me, but they wouldn't get it. They
Mm,
would be like, okay, why are you so excited about this? Like, what value does this bring? And so and so. Um, so it, it was okay, challenging for me to learn more about things myself. I Everything that I learned, obviously, apart from apprenticeship, I did a lot of self learn. And because I was passionate about digital marketing and having no friends to talk about or learn about their experience within the same industry, it was sometimes I felt a bit like, oh, I wish I knew someone. When I was starting my digital marketing career as well, I didn't know how to feel about this. I didn't know what I would do after digital marketing, because digital marketing, there's so many different roles, isn't there? Like social media marketing, there's roles that do just social media marketing, there's roles that just do SEO. And when I started my apprenticeship, I didn't really know what to do. I didn't really know if I wanted to do everything digital marketing or if it's just one aspect. And if I wanted to do SEO, I didn't know who I could speak to about it. Don't get me wrong, I have my obviously during my apprenticeship days, I had my mentors and stuff that I could talk to, but I wanted more like my friends or anyone that I know in my circle, and learn about it. And I didn't really have anyone. So I learned everything by myself, and I got here to where I am with most of it being self-learning, and I never really gave up on that either. So I would say I want to be remembered as that if you put your mind to something and if you are passionate about it, whether you have anyone that is in the same industry by your side or something, there's always like a solution for it online, and you'll always find something online. I don't know if I worded it correctly, but yeah, I want to be remembered for my determination. But no,
Oh, I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Nice. When you go on holiday, what do you like to do?
um, I I don't like sitting idle at home. I like walking. Like I like to take walks, but I prefer going exploring the cities, uh, wherever I am. And I don't mind going to the beach, but I think I'd get bored. I know that sounds bad, but like I said, I want to do something that I learn more about the culture or about the city or wherever I am. So I would be somewhere like what are they called? Like landmarks, the famous
Famous
things in it.
landmarks, yeah, or the
Famous landmarks,
eight wonders of the world, or something like
eight
that.
wonders of the world. Yeah, one of those things. And I would like to go at like a history place or anything, like learning just about the culture and uh, or history of that place wherever I am. So you will probably find me learning something about somewhere.
Is there or has there been somewhere where you've been where it's been like your best holiday, or you just loved that time there because you got to kind of learn about the culture and explore in more detail?
This sounds biased, and also this is not a holiday, but going back home to India.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
enjoyed going India. I moved here at a young age, not really that young, but at an age where I'm just learning everything, and then I just suddenly moved here. So I know about the country, I know about the culture, but I don't know that well. I didn't know enough where I feel like, oh, this is my culture. I just know like the top line things where everyone knows about India. So every time I go to India, I like to go to temples mostly, and then I like to learn about the religion. I'm Hindu. I like learning about Hinduism, and then the city I'm from Hyderabad. It's in the south of India, and I go to the famous landmarks as well. I think one of the famous landmarks is called Charminar. I don't know if it's a famous landmark, but I know it's a famous place that everyone goes. They have these stores where they sell like earrings and all this jewelry, and then also they have like these mini shops if you keep walking. I really like that. It was an experience.
That.
Yeah, it's actually quite cheap as well in India, so I didn't have to take loads of money, but with the with the amount of money I took, I got loads of things, and it's actually crazy how cheap it is in India. Uh, but yeah, and I spent rest of my money on biryani, of course. But
I was gonna say, because the food would be different in
hmm
India as it would be sort of here in the UK, right? Like
hmm
curries, biryani, that kind of thing. Um, could you tell there was a difference? Taste the difference?
Of course, the first noticeable thing I would say on my taste buds was the spice. It was
Ah,
so
yes.
spicy. It was so spicy, but it was in a good way because it was the flavors were good as well.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, the spice levels, it's embarrassing to admit it, but I can't eat the Indian level spice level yet. I can eat
Okay.
spicy food, but the food in India, especially South India, is another level. It's on another level. Like I yeah. But I eat it because I enjoy the flavor. So the more I eat, the more spicy it gets. And I'm like drinking water and eating. But yeah.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Oh, love food, love food. Who doesn't love food,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Do you have a favorite book that you would recommend, or perhaps a particular author?
Mm, I think I don't know if I'd say this is my favorite, but definitely a book that had an impact on me, I think on everyone who's read it, is Atomic Habits.
Hmm.
It shaped me into a better person with sticking to my habits. So I would say I would recommend that book. Uh, yeah, that I think that's the book that I can think of when it came to my mind. So I would say Atomic Habits.
Perfect. No, brilliant. If you had a chance to be a superhero or have some kind of superpowers, who would that be, or what would those superpowers be?
I think my superpower would be able is something being able to speak every single language on this planet or in every country. Uh, yeah, I like learning about cultures, languages, or anything about different countries. So it will be being able to speak every single language on this planet.
I'm just trying to think, like picturing yourself amongst, in the center of London, and one minute you hear Polish, one minute you can hear Italian, one minute you can hear French, and your head would, yeah.
Mhm.
It would
It's
be
so cool.
crazy to kind of understand all those different languages and listen in to
Mhm.
so many different languages. But I think, yeah, knowing different languages is a good one. If you had to ask the audience a question, what would that be?
Mm, I would ask, how did you get to where you are today? And are you happy with it? And the reason why I ask this, I know it has no context, but what I mean by that is because my life took an unexpected turn, starting as a web developer or a software development, and then it took into a digital marketing curve. So, would that be a similar case for you as well? You wanted to do something, and then when you were doing that, you got introduced to something, and you just took that turn. So yeah, that would be my question.
Nice, nice. Lastly, do you have any final words you would like to share?
Mm, yeah, I'd like to say thank you to you for having me on here. It's so exciting. I honestly been waiting for this day because I was so excited. I just finally here and I'm so happy. Thank you.
No, thank you so much, Rithisha, for being on the podcast. It's great to learn more about your journey, your love of biryani for sure, and spicy food. And I think there's a lot of great nuggets, for young people coming into the kind of sector, the industry, and just really kind of getting an understanding about the different routes to getting into a marketing career, what that looks like. And I think there's a lot of opportunities out there. It's not just that one route to which you need to
Hmm.
follow. I think as long as you have great people, great community, great network, and people around you that will support you, and the world is your oyster, as they say. So
Hmm.
thank you so much once again, and have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.